Good evening, everyone. It's so nice to meet you all again at 6 p.m. from Monday to Saturday, the daily current affairs premiere. Do not worry about notes because I provide the notes through my Telegram channel, Pooja Dwivedi UPSC. If you have any queries regarding this examination, do talk to me on my Instagram. Follow me on my threads. These are the various events that we have to cover. First, let's talk about this question that I gave you to solve. With reference to Adi Shankaracharya, consider the following statements. He became a proponent of Advaita Vedanta. The statue of Adi Shankaracharya was unveiled in Telangana, and the guru of Adi Shankaracharya was Govind Bhagavatapada. So, what do we have to see? We have to see how many of the statements given above is or are correct. Yes, he was a proponent of Advaita Vedanta. Advait means Advait, non to Vedanta. Ved means knowledge, Anta means goal or end. So he believed in this philosophy that there is unity in multiplicity. There are multiple species of plants, animals, humans, then things, but they all have unity in nature. Eventually, every individual soul will go back to the supreme soul. So this is Advaita Vedanta. So yes, first statement is correct, and he got this information with the help of his guru Govind Bhagavad. I think you have heard about the Statue of Oneness, and it has been unveiled in Omkareshwar, not Telangana. Omkareshwar is in Madhya Pradesh. So, first is correct, second is not correct, third is correct, two only will be the correct answer. Omkareshwar has a significance in the life of Adi Shankaracharya. He was 12 when he visited Omkareshwara. He lived for just 32 years in his physical form. And when he went to Omkareshwara, this place also became very important for us from the perspective of art and culture and from the perspective of Hinduism. The Statue of Oneness, which was unveiled here, it is in the same age of 12. So the sculptors made sure that they were learning about the faces of Keralite teen boys, 12, 13 years of boys, 12, 13 years boys, so that they can give this manifestation to the Statue of Oneness that has been unveiled in Omkareshwar, Madhya Pradesh. Why Keralite boys? Because Adi Shankaracharya was born at Kaladi, Kerala, on the banks of the Periyar River. Kaladi is. So yes, that makes the second statement to be incorrect. Two only will be the correct answer. And he is believed to have existed in the physical form from 788 to 820 AD. His guru was Govind Bhagavad, and from the current perspective, his life was too short, 32 years. But even in this short life, he gave us many important philosophies. He traveled from Kanchipuram to Kamrup in Assam. Kashmir and Kedar and Badri Dhams he did. He also visited Sringeri, Ujjain, Kashipuri and Joshimath. He is believed to have authored 116 works such as commentaries on 10 Upanishads, Brahma Sutra and the Gita. Consider the following statements. In the discovery of India, former Prime Minister Nehru referred to India as India, Bharat and Hindustan. Meluha was referred by the Mesopotamian civilization for the whole of India as it stands today. Hari Vishnu Kamath and Har Govind Pant were against the precedence of term India and Bharat. So how many of the statements given above is or are correct? Recently, NCRT has suggested that in school textbooks, we should replace the name India with Bharat. But the thing is that we do not know if it is going to be approved or not. In the Constituent Assembly debates, there was a lot of division over the usage of the name India or Bharat because Bharat is more socio-cultural in nature, also religious in nature, according to certain historians. But India was an exonym. This name has been given to us by our former colonial masters. So Bharat is more like it has a more of a nationalist fervor, more emotional fervor. India is like a brand. It is a currency that we use for ourselves to be known in the foreign lands. So that is why there were some proponents such as Hari Vishnu Kamath and Har Govind Pant that were not happy that our country was being referred as India and not Bharat. So third is correct. In the discovery of India, Prime Minister Nehru was very conscious about the image of our country. India, as we are known in the foreign lands, a newly independent country, we use the name India. Bharat was, as I told you, more of a nationalist emotion because of the freedom struggle slogan Bharat Mata Ki Jai. Hindustan was one of the names that was used during the Mughal period. More so importantly, if anybody had to say that they are from South Asia, they could use the word Hindustan. And by the time the British came, the usage of India became a lot. So Hindustan lost its political currency. Okay, so first is correct. He used all the three names. Mesopotamian civilization had trade relations with Meluha, and by the deduction of it, we can understand Meluha is only the Indus Valley civilization. As we know that the Indus Valley civilization did not span across India, the whole land of India as we stand today. It was only talking about the Indus Valley civilization. First is correct, second is incorrect because here it is talking that whole of India was addressed. So, and third is also correct. So first, third is correct, first and third. Second is not correct. Okay. So 2 only will be the correct answer. Constituent Assembly debates, when they talked about the name of India, Hari Vishnu Kamath, he was a member of the Forward Bloc. He said that we should call in the first article Bharat, or in the English language India shall be and such. Said Govind Das, who was representing central provinces and Berar, he said that it should be Bharat known as India in foreign countries. Hargovind Pant, who was representing the hill districts of the United Provinces, he said that the people of North India want our country to be known as Bharatvarsha, nothing else. And I have already told you, India had a name for Indus Valley civilization. For back then, for Mesopotamians, we were Meluha. And as you know, that the Harappan civilization spanned across this region, not the entire India. So it was one of the names. Other than this, we were also known as Aryavarta, Jambudvipa, the land of Jamuns, also Nabi Varsa, Hindustan. Moving on, with respect to gun laws in the USA, consider the following statement. Some states allow teens to buy or purchase long guns without parental consent. That means consent of the parents is not really mattering here. In Texas, there is no minimum age to own a firearm. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? See, you must be thinking that second is definitely not correct. Some age has to be given. In Texas, even a child of aged 2 can possess arms because there is no law that prohibits it or no law that upholds a particular age. In practice in Texas, yes. In practice, 18 years is there to purchase, supply and deal in arms. But there is not any sort of law for it. So second is correct. And in the USA, the proliferation of guns is such that any state, any state, of course, when they are dealing in arms, out of those some states, they do not even care if your parents want you to have gun or not. Okay. So yes, long guns we are talking about, those ones which we have seen, long barrels. Okay. So first is correct, second is correct. Both 1 and 2 will be the correct answer. I have recently covered this issue that a suspect by the name of Robert Card in the Maine state of the USA. Maine. Where is Maine? Here is Maine. He opened arms on innocent people in a bowling alley and a restaurant. He killed at least 20 people, injured many. He is actually a trained firearms instructor in the US Army Reserve, and he was committed to a mental rehabilitation facility some days back. That means he's mentally ill. And just imagine, he has the possession of arms. He's an active assailant. So it is very easy to get access to arms. I have already completed that. You must watch it. Very interesting. You know that with the help of the Second Amendment in the USA's Constitution, almost every citizen of the USA can be possessing arms because a well-regulated militia, as we talked about, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That makes it sacrosanct in nature. However, historians believe that this amendment was brought into existence so that USA did not have to maintain a professional army. So a well-regulated militia had to be there. But the Supreme Court interpreted it otherwise, making it a fundamental right to bear arms. As you see, mass shootings because of this has increased because almost everybody has arms there. Federal law actually requires someone to be at least 21 if they want to buy a shotgun. But for long barrel guns, it could be 18 years. Some states, as I told you, also allow certain teens. Some states also allow teens to get possession of arms without parental consent. I have already told you about the issue with Texas. Moving on. With reference to LVM-3, consider the following statements. It is capable of placing the 4-ton class satellite of the GSAT series into geosynchronous transfer orbit. It is a 2-stage launch vehicle. It uses only solid propellant. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? The LVM-3 is in the news because it will be used, the human rated, for the launch of Gaganyaan. And it is capable of placing 4-ton class of GSAT series satellite in the geosynchronous transfer orbit. This is correct. It is a 3-stage launch vehicle, and not only solid but liquid propellants are also used. So that makes the first statement to be correct, second and third are not, one only will be the correct answer. It's a 3-stage launch vehicle. These are solid strap-on boosters, as in they use solid fuel. Then we have core liquid booster, and the upper stage is cryogenic in nature. Cryogenic upper stage uses cryogenic technology. Cryogenic is actually the study of the behavior of elements which are stored at a temperature of minus 150 degrees Celsius. So it uses that. And here is the payload. Whatever payload is going to be there, the satellite that is going to use it. Okay. So yes, there are 2 solid boosters, the core liquid fuel based stage and cryogenic upper stage. So there are 3 stages. It is capable of placing 4-ton class satellites of the GSAT series into geosynchronous transfer orbit. Moving on. With respect to the automated permanent academic account registry, choose the incorrect statement. The statement which is not correct, of course. The initiative was launched as a part of the National Education Policy 2020. Each student would get a lifelong APAR ID. It aims to reduce fraud and duplicate educational certificates. It doesn't need the usage of Aadhaar cards. So, as a part of the new education policy 2020, every student from the childhood will have one ID. It is like in pursuance of one nation, one student ID. Alright, so first is correct, second is also correct. It aims to reduce fraud and duplicate educational certificate, because whatever credits that you will get, it will be registered in a pool. Only authentic institutions can do that. So that is why fraudulence will be verified at the very central stage. That is good. So first is correct, second is correct, third is also correct. If you want to get yourself registered for one student, one ID system, then you will give your Aadhaar card to verify what name you have given, what birth date is there, gender, everything will be verified with Aadhaar card, and that is one of the drawbacks. But government says that it will keep the data safe. So first, second, third correct, D is not correct. Creation of new student identity is taking place in many states. This is automated permanent academic account registry, also known as One Nation, One Student ID initiative. This is under the National Education Policy. APAR is nothing but automated permanent academic account registry. Also, each student will get a lifelong APAR ID. APAR would also serve as a gateway for DigiLocker. That means I will not need to carry so many documents from one place to another. In case of transfers, any parent, of course, if they are being transferred, they will take their child with them. That means they have to change schools. For that, this is a blessing because it will be hassle free. You do not need to be worried about what documents you have lost like we do. Okay, moving on. Only first party sources that issue certificates will be allowed to deposit credits into the system. That means only authentic ones will be doing that. Every individual will have a unique APAR ID that will be linked with academic bank credit. This is a central pool. Once you complete a course, either formal education or informal learning, those kind of credit amounts will be credited in your pool. So you will, any education institution, or if you're looking for a job, they will be able to look for your credits here. Name, age, date of birth, gender, everything has to be verified with the help of Aadhaar number, which is concerning for parents and students as well. But the government says that it will be kept confidential. It will be kept in the Unified District Information System for Education Plus, or UDISE Plus database. This also contains the information of teachers, education institutes, so it's safe according to the government. Consider the following statement. Statement 1 says, in India, electric vehicle makers are not mandated to follow a specific standard for charging connectors. Statement 2 says, lack of standardization in India is responsible for range anxiety, ill impacting the sale of EVs. So we have to choose the correct answer using the codes. That is correct. If I'm going to buy an electric vehicle, I will be concerned not only about the infrastructure as in will my vehicle be charged if I go 10 kilometers from here? If the charging goes away, will I be stopped in my way? So that is range anxiety. And because in India there is no standardization, that makes it difficult for infrastructure to be developed that will cater to each and every electric vehicle. Ports are different, kind of slots are different. It is just like your mobile phones. A common charger for all the phones, great. But if you have to get different chargers for different phones, similarly it is for electric vehicles as well. We do not have any standard, and that is why lack of standardization is not going to help electric vehicle industry. Every maker will have different standards. That means every infrastructure will invest a lot of amount in making that infrastructure that could cater to everyone. That will give me range anxiety. Range anxiety means, will my scooter take me to this place or not? What if the power runs out? It will, of course, it'll impact the sale of scooters. So statement 1 is correct, and it is the correct explanation of statement 2. Recently, the Bureau of Indian Standards has approved an indigenously developed AC and DC combined charging connector standard for LEVs, light electric vehicles, such as scooters, bikes, and rickshaws. Okay, and the standard is ISI 7017 Part 2 slash Sec 7 2023. This has been developed with the help of Niti Aayog, the Department of Science and Technology, and electric two-vehicle maker Ather Energy. It is indigenously developed charging standard, and it is first in the world that combines alternating current and direct current for LEVs. You have to remember this. Although the combined AC and DC charging standards for electric four-wheelers are already in use in the world, for Europe it is this, as you can see. Okay. In India, we do not have, for EV makers, a proper standard. Ola Electric, Ather Energy, Ultraviolet, Automotive, they have all different ones. So too many charging standards make it difficult for the infrastructure to provide and cater to the need of each individual maker. Okay, and range anxiety is increased because of this. So we have to ensure that more such innovations come into existence. This is a practice question. Consider the following: papaya mealybug, African apple snail, Chromolina odorata, Lantana camara. How many of the above are an example of, is or are an example of invasive alien species? Let me take the names of those students who have answered my last question correctly, so that you can answer this question as well. Bear with me for a moment. The answer was B, right? B was the correct answer. Let me just take the names of students. 1 and 3. No, Simran and Prabhat. It's B actually. So Pragati has answered it correctly. Satish, Unnati, Mandeep, Devi, Rupash, Komal, Swati, Priyadarshan, Amrut, Siddharth, Shubhendu. Okay, Bandi, I'll take care of that. Vaibhav, Indrotura, Raghuveer, Mitlesh, thank you so much. Padmashri, Ritu, thank you. Shubham, Pratik, Mansi, Abhishek, Riya, Ankit, Kanish. No, sorry, Kanika. Thank you for answering the last one. Answer this one as well. Keep on watching.